This is gonna be the first time. I think I've done like a little bit of stuff like this before. But I think this is gonna be like the first time I've ever done like a full gameplay where I break it down. Chat, tell me. Do you want to be able to see both cameras, or should I just put my camera over my camera in the VOD? What do you want? I see a lot of people saying over. All right. Okay. I'm going to keep the volume at like... Maybe we want it almost max. Probably don't want it quite there. Okay. Also, I plan on throwing this on YouTube. Okay? I plan on throwing this on YouTube. If you're watching this video on YouTube, something absolutely amazing that you could do, especially if you enjoy the video, if you enjoy the content, hit that thumbs up button. It'll help people out, help people find the video. Also, chat, can we get a high YouTube or hit the thumbs up button in the chat real quick? Everybody over there tuning in on YouTube, we're doing this live on Twitch right now with the chat, and we may be doing more of these in the future depending on how this goes. So yo, over there you can see it, man. You see the chat? Hi YouTube. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up. All right. So, this is going to be a breakdown. We're doing this live on stream of a 4,000 damage, 4,000 plus damage, 20 kill game. All right. We had a 4K damage game a little while back, but it was only 17 kills. We're doing one that just barely happened, live on stream. We're doing the 4,000 damage, 20 kill game breakdown. I'm going to go back over my thought process with stuff that I'm thinking at the time and try to be able to teach just maybe a few things. Maybe you can pick up a few things from this and apply it to your own game and get better for it. So let's jump into it. RBT, thanks for the prime summary, and thank you, RBT. So right here, I'm the jump master. Honestly, I jumped out late. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading chat, reading notifications. I should have jumped a little bit sooner. When I'm going in, I'm pointing at this far pod. And just recently, the previous game, I had a bunch of people land with me. So what I did, I break off. And I go back left. My teammates went to the one on the right. Quickly grab the weapons, the shotguns off the ground. I choose to go with the EVA 8 because it's golden. I got the double tap, right? I'm going to be able to put out more damage with the double tap EVA than with the Peacekeeper off rip. I deplete my EVA, swap over to Peacekeeper, then I reload. All right? One for the kill on the Bangalore. I'm thinking to myself right now, I need to find shields. I need to find health. All right. I'm low. I see that this guy's punching this dude out. Realize that he's not really a big threat. Can probably jump down, finish him off. It so happens.
No.
This Octane gets a good hit on us.
Why did I not get shields or health?
But luckily, our boy, 400 Sniper Panda, comes around, he starts fighting this Octane. I'm thinking to myself, I just need to keep crawling. Let's keep putting as much distance as I can in between me and this Octane. So we're crawling away. Keep crawling. They're dropping barrels behind us. They're still above us. Something might have happened. I don't know why the Octane didn't keep pushing. He might have started getting shot by someone else. He might not be on the same team as this Caustic. Immediately... Oh! After getting rezzed, right? I'm thinking I need to get out of this situation. I don't have health. I don't have shields.
Dude,
I'm going to fling myself out.
And then of course, there's a guy over here. Of course, there's a...
As I'm running away, I'm paying attention to sound. Always trying to pay high attention to sound, right?
I'll be back.
I hear the metal sound
I'll be back.
Of the Pathfinder. To my right, I immediately change directions. Start running the other way. Luckily, he either one... didn't want to fight. He didn't really notice and hear me. Maybe he thought my steps were his own steps.
These fellas are about to be in trouble.
But I pushed further away. I see that this isn't looted. I'm now planning on looting up. We found syringes. Try to get my health back up.
Here we go.
Decided to go with the wingman. The reason I chose to drop the Peacekeeper there is because I got the gold Eva. Right? Don't really have attachments for the Peacekeeper. The gold Eva, in my opinion, is better than a base Peacekeeper. You can do a lot of damage with the Eva. Now with the double tap.
Back, dude.
Also, since it's golden, I got the digital thread on it. And the shotgun bolt is technically a purple bolt on the shotgun, right? You can't pull those attachments off and put them on the Peacekeeper. If I could, I would have done that. So, looting back up on the way. And something that I had noticed when I pushed away, I noticed, yo, my Mirage is still around here. As I'm pushing back, I'm trying to listen to gunshots. They're calling in a res. And I can see that there's multiple teams fighting. Right? It's more than just my Mirage. I can see that there's a couple different teams fighting. What that's going to do, that's going to allow me to push up while they're distracted.
Now it's like instas past it. You have to be timing it up to actually hit it.
And give me an opportunity to get back into the action, get into their face. So I throw a zipline up top, retake the high ground. There's only a few places you can get up, and I really think that you either have to be an Octane or a Pathfinder to get back to this top spot above the train yard. Right here, I can barely see like a little bit of movement there through the crack. So I kept firing shots because it looked to me like if I fired a couple shots, he'd maybe be sitting there and be able to take him out. So now I'm swapping over to the shotgun as I get closer. I already did some damage to him while he was up here. So we already had him low. And we pushed it and he stayed up here. We were able to take him out.
Bang, 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 bang.
So now I'm seeing, okay, there's a team further out to our side. Loon up, gonna swap armor. Go with the blue, obviously. So now I'm realizing, okay, we got a team out in the open. And we got this team here. Healing back up. And right here, I let the heal go off. Realize this Pathfinder's coming over. I swapped to the Eva for close range, right? I wasn't able to do enough damage to him up top to knock him. But I wanted to go after that because I knew that he was low. I knew he was in trouble, right? He was low HP. And then if I just follow up, I should be able to get the kill. Sadly, I didn't do quite enough damage with the Eva, so I had to hit like a decent shot on the Pathfinder as he's trying to swing away. One of the big reasons that I love playing Pathfinder is due to his mobility. Getting really good with Pathfinder. Pathfinder is a great character for trying to solo because using his mobility and his movement, you can get yourself out of bad situations. And at the very end of the game, something that I'm going to comment on, you can get yourself into a fight when you realize you have an opportunity to take the team out. Or at least eliminate a guy. So, hit this Wraith on the way up. He kind of panicked. He wanted to start doing the thing where you jump off the zip line and back onto it to make it so that people miss you. But that caused him to flip around, so I was able to take advantage of that, get a little bit more damage on him. So, when I pushed up there, we heard the Bloodhound outside the wall. And we could see him a little bit through the wall as well, like he was glowing because of his ultimate. So, we were able to knock him. They were able to get him back up. Did a lot of damage to this Pathfinder here. I run out of ammo and I realize he's low enough that I can go for the punch. Right? If I couldn't go for the punch there, while I'm fighting, I am tracking the damage in my head like, okay, this guy has gold armor. I need to do 200 HP to knock him. And if you're paying attention to the damage numbers, I'm kind of adding this up as I'm fighting to realize, okay, he's low enough, or at least I had a feeling that he was really, like, close to being low enough that I could punch him and get the knock. Also, knowing that they just rezzed, it's very likely that the Bloodhound wasn't at max HP yet, and I don't believe he was. Like, he was able to get his shields off, but his health wasn't up. So, even though we got the knock and we weren't able to finish him, and they were able to get rezzed, it's something where you can realize, hey, this guy's still probably low. If I re-engage now and can get the re-knock, it gives me a decent opportunity to be able to still win this fight. And another big thing that I did there, someone with shotguns constantly bouncing in and out of cover. And that Pathfinder, by getting aggressive with me and trying to push me, he funneled himself into a choke. making it very easy shots with a shotgun for me to be able to take him out because I bounce out. He doesn't have a lot of space to move. I fire off 2 shots of the Eva burst, pop back into cover, come out, do it again.
If I had... I think I'll trade this Havoc for a fully kitted Peacekeeper.
So, the reason that I'm talking about maybe swapping off for a Peacekeeper, I feel like the Peacekeeper, at least for me as of late, and this is something where you gotta be like aware of what guns you feel like you're really strong with. The Peacekeeper had a little bit of a buff, so it made it so that it's a little bit more consistent because they made the projectile size larger. And by making the projectile size larger, it's more likely that the projectile hits. But I was liking the Peacekeeper even a little bit before this slight buff. And the thing I realized with the Havoc right now, I do not have a lot of energy ammo. Energy ammo is usually pretty hard to come by. So I would like to swap off for a Peacekeeper. Due to that, also due to the fact that I'm really enjoying it right now, also due to the fact that when you're fighting multiple teams, the high burst damage of the Peacekeeper, you can use very effectively in close range fights, like we just did up top in the cart by funneling them. And you're going to see later in the game that I do that probably multiple times. There's a spot coming up where I do that really effectively, and it helps me win the fight against that team. I just noticed that was the guy that knocked me at the start of the game. That Octane. Alright, so I got the damage off with the R99 there, and then instead of reloading the R99, I swapped to the Havoc so I can get the finish.
I want that guy's Peacekeeper. There's still 2 teams there.
Here, I could have went back and finished this Octane. But at the time, it wasn't something... I could have actually grabbed the energy ammo right there as well. It's one of those things where, like, in the heat of battle, in the fight, there's a few things that I maybe could have even done a little bit better. But we push in. I know that I have the advantage on this Mirage right now. I'm trying to chase him down. He only had white armor. We cracked him. We did like 50 HP to his health.
Did you kill a Mirage?
But I believe our Bloodhound got him. I wanted to like, kind of double check. I asked him if he killed him, but I don't think he had a mic. Staying in cover while I'm getting shot at by this charge rifle. Here I hear this Pathfinder pushing around. And then same thing. I go with the R99. Got him low enough. Swap to the Havoc to be able to get the finish. Here I'm using my Havoc to finish him off rather than my 99.
Let me take this box with me. I need a shotgun.
Because I knew that I'm getting rid of the Havocs soon, and I didn't want to waste the mag in my 99 that was already full and have to reload that as well. So...
You crazy bastard. You ain't getting back up there.
Here I'm going to swap off for this Peacekeeper, because I realized this guy had a shotgun. Took 2 stacks of the ammo. I would have taken more light ammo. Honestly, I probably would have went with only 1 stack of shotgun. To get more light because we only have 150 extra rounds, and with an R99, like that seems like it might be a lot, but it's not. You can go through 400 rounds in a game with R99 in just a few fights because of how much fire rate you have and whatnot. So here I heard a team push up, right? So immediately I'm sneaking around, and this is where you're going to see the Peacekeeper come into play. This is why I love having a Peacekeeper. So I see these guys are pushing. I can hear them pushing outside. There's a Wraith on the top. I'm going to back up, heal up, and then immediately I realize, okay, I can use this staircase to my advantage. If they try to push me up here, it's the same thing as the cart.
Keep coming.
It's the exact same thing as the cart. They're funneling themselves into a small choke point. I can bounce in and out of cover. You take advantage of that burst damage and just absolutely decimate them. Right? And quickly they're going to realize if they don't make it to the top of the staircase and get on top of you, that they're not going to be able to push that. Just like that Mirage was like, no, I can't push that. He starts running the other way. The Wraith had not pushed up fast enough yet to help his team. So I got that damage on the Mirage, and I'm pushing to finish that Mirage as well.
It's going to make it real easy for me if they keep pushing that. I just pop around the staircase, shotgun blast. Pop around.
Realizing the Mirage is low, let's take him out of the game. All right, let's go back a little bit right here. Because there's one more thing that I want to like comment on. Right here. So we go to the doorway, right? I'm still trying to pay attention. Where are the steps coming from? Where can I hear, like, this team, right? And I believe either right now I heard the Wraith, or shortly after I closed this door, I heard the Wraith, right? So it was before this. I think you could even see him. Let's go back just a tiny bit more. When I come down this staircase, right? Finish the Mirage off because I know that I have him low. Get the knock, right? And then boom, I come around here and I see this Wraith in the doorway. The whole reason I was coming here to begin with was to block this door and heal up a little bit more. That way I've closed off this one entrance to the building. So then I can kind of turn around and focus just behind me in case the Wraith's coming in behind us, right? It also allows me, after I've healed up, if I need to get out, like say the Wraith comes in and she breaks my armor and gets me low health, then I have an escape. I just open that door, flip out, I can fling myself up with my grapple, or out into, I can run out into the street, it can move to a different building, so it gives me an escape, and it also blocks off so that it's like I'm in a corner, everything else that comes into the building like is in front of me. I'm not going to get shot in the back. The only big thing when you're holding doors like that, watch out for thermites being thrown, because thermites can bleed through the doorway and you'll start taking damage. You can't sit on the door then. That's also a good way to get people off doors. And the other big thing to take account of, if that Mirage starts crawling towards the door, you're going to want to try to finish him so that he doesn't get close to the door, because what the Mirage can do is open the door from the inside, right? And if he opens the door from the inside, then his Wraith outside is going to be able to get in or shoot us. And the only way that we're going to have to re-close the door and re-block it, and he can just keep opening it. So you do not want their team to get close to that door because it's going to hurt you, right? All right. So here I see this Wraith, right? Go to the door, and then I close it. I see that she had like stopped, or I hear her footsteps stop. So I'm going to take the initiative and engage immediately with the 99. And by using the door like this, I can then close it right after if I need to, right? So I'm opening the door, gonna immediately take the fight, and then close it if she's about to engage me, or if I feel like I need to heal up or anything like that, right? So open the door, take those shots, use the doorway as cover. Actually here, I see that I broke her armor. I'm still listening to her steps, where she's at. Okay, now she comes to the door. I see that, okay, she's not healing yet. So now I'm getting a heal off. I'm getting even more of my health back in this fight. I'm tracking in my head. Okay, I broke her armor. I did 120 damage. If she has purple armor, that means she's at around 80 HP. Okay? I saw that she had a Peacekeeper, right? That's how she did all this damage to me. So I hit this. Hit another one. This is going to put me out of range for a Peacekeeper one-shot. Unless she, like, hits me nothing but with a headshot with the whole blast. And then I'm going to push out. Now she's healing. That's something else that I heard during this. She's healing now. So she's definitely in a bad situation. She's going to have to stop that heal in order to engage me. I have the initiative on this Wraith here. Right? Got the finish.
The ring is close. Less than a minute.
Sound like a self-res.
Saw right there. Immediately I grabbed that purple armor. That's just a habit that I've built up, you know, after a fight, swapping out the purple. And now that the gold is better, the gold didn't used to be as good, right? The gold used to have, the gold's effect was when you did a finisher on someone, it replenished. So it's still kind of ingrained in me just to swap out for a purple because the gold wasn't that much better. But now that the gold's better, I'm like, yo, I need to swap back. I need to take that gold. Looking for other gear here that I need. Take the shotgun bolt, barrel. Try to get enough batteries, especially when you got gold armor. Taking batteries is a big thing. You should probably stack as many batteries almost as you can. Like having 9 batteries would be a good thing with gold armor. As long as you got a decent size
staircase is gonna make it real easy for me
backpack.
That.
You can see me talking about it here, funneling people in to those small areas, into those chokes against teams. When you got a gun like a Peacekeeper, even a 99, like high DPS, high burst damage weapon, an L-Star, a Mastiff, you can really turn the fight on a team real quick by doing that.
Can really help you out.
Okay, so here I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm checking how many teams are left. 4 squads, 10 players, you know. I know that likely, due to the fact that it's 4 squads with 10 players left, and I have only 2 players left on my team, that means there's 8 players left across 3 teams. So, doing the math, most likely that's probably 2 teams of 3 and a team of 2, right? I don't know if it could be anything else. No, it'd have to be 2 teams of 3 and a team of 2. So you know now, by doing that, how many players are likely going to be left on these teams. So if you only see 2 guys running, like, oh, that's probably a team of 2. If you see 3, okay, that's a team of 3, right? Pretty obvious. And as you see right here, we're going to run into the team of 2. I hear these footsteps as I'm pushing across. The plan, you can see I marked on the map, was to go and get my Mirage back in the game. Would have already respawned him, but all the respawns, the redeploys, or the respawn sites had been hit all the way up until this point. So, like, we had to go all the way across the map pretty much to get him back into the game.
We are already inside the ring.
So I'm sneaking up, trying to make not a lot of sound. I see that he's coming towards me, or I hear him coming towards me. Maybe to check out if somebody's outside. Maybe he slightly hears us. So immediately, like, when I see that he's close enough that I can engage him with this Peacekeeper, I'm engaging. I get a large hit right off the bat, and now I'm going to stick on this guy. I've got the lead in this fight. I've already got him down 100 HP. I'm still at max. So let's stick on him. Let's get in his face. Close distance with Peacekeeper. That way we're able to get as much damage with this shotgun as we possibly can. We get the knock. All right, immediately his friend starts hitting us here. Like, get to cover. Our guy, our Bloodhound, did a great job right here. Because just by him firing this shot at this Pathfinder, it slowed him down. That Pathfinder's like, damn, both these guys got shotguns. I don't want to run up into this building. You know, that's probably likely what he's thinking. And it was, if he does come in, and our Bangalore even, or Bloodhound even hit him with like a slight shot, and then we're both Peacekeeper and this guy together, he's not going to have a good time, right?
Enemy taken down.
Hit a battery real quick. Our boys here helping us.
So, boom. Then I'm listening, and I hear the door open. So the Pathfinder, after he got shot at, swung back around. He's pushed in through this door. By, like, you can hear the fight going on. So I'm going to collapse on him with our Bloodhound here and try to get as close to him as I possibly can for this shotgun shot. So, boom, we get that, and then I'm just, like, barrel stuffing him.
Wanted to get right in his face.
Right in his face.
Get the most of that damage with the Peacekeeper.
Yo, heal up, homie. Here, I'm making sure that our Bloodhound knows that, like, yo, you're 1 HP, man. Need to heal up. I don't know if he needed heals. Like, he didn't say he needed heals.
All right.
But then I asked him, like, yo, you need some heals? This is like, help your teammate out, man. Even if you have, like, in this case, this Bloodhound has been, like, really good for us. There's been many clutch times where if this Bloodhound wasn't with us, we wouldn't have made it this far in the game, right? He saved us in the very beginning. But it's like working with your team and still trying to help them be the best they can be, because it's going to help you, man, in the end game, right? It's going to help you. This is like where, like, you try to be the best teammate you can. And even though, like, this Bloodhound, it's not like he's doing insane stuff. He's just going through and killing all these people. But just, like, the small things that he's done has helped us so much in this game. And the res at the beginning was a very big thing. So now I'm like, okay, let's push out. And I look over to our right after I fling myself out here, and I see this right here. I see a guy up here. I see a portal. I'm like, okay, team there, right?
So, yo, team behind us, and then a guy where I just pinged, near where.
So when I turned around, there was a Pathfinder running up here that I had spotted.
Hostile spotted.
So I'm coming around, trying to heal myself back up while we're moving. Want to get my Mirage back in the game. Even though he's not going to have anything, just having another person in the game is huge. Even just for, like, soaking up bullets. And it's like, maybe it sounds like a mean thing to say, but it's like, man, even by just soaking shots or having someone else to shoot at, you're helping the team out by doing that, right? Especially if you don't have anything, because you're not a threat. Just by him like soaking up more bullets and more shots could help us.
From Southwest might try to push.
So
we don't want to get pinched here.
Here I'm saying, yo, this team might push us from behind. I'm trying to back up further away from that in case both those teams collapse. Like, I had seen a team far, and I had seen the other team on our side next to the tracks. When that respawn comes in, I'm thinking to myself, it's very likely that these teams are going to, like, maybe try to push us. So I'm going to try to get myself out of that danger zone, and so that if they do push, they're going to push each other, and I'm not going to be pinched in the middle of that. But what happened, this other team kept rotating around, and so we end up running into them here. So I'm like, okay, I need to take this fight. I'd only seen this guy run. He was ahead of his team.
He's not. Actually.
So our Bloodhound comes around, helps us get the final knock on him. I see this Gibraltar, so instead of healing right here, I see this Gibraltar is not focused on me. I'm still at 100 HP. I'm going to be able to engage him with the Bloodhound and probably be able to do a lot of damage on him, because whenever someone's shooting at someone else, it makes the shot for you a lot easier, right? So I'm like, okay, let's help the Bloodhound here. Now he throws his shield out. Now I heal up, hit the battery. Okay? Now we're in close range combat. Swap over to the Peacekeeper for that big damage shot, right? These guys still super focused on my Bloodhound. They didn't really notice that I jumped up on the stairs. Maybe the shield was blocking it. Maybe they're just so tunneled in. And it allows me to get up into their face and easily be able to take them out. Just working together with our Bloodhound. And that's something where, if they were a little bit more situationally aware when I hopped up on that staircase, and if they both start firing at me, then that changes that fight. But they were super zoned in on our Bloodhound there. Okay, immediately I go back and I'm checking our backside. I'm like, okay, where is this other team? Did they push up yet? What happened during this is they didn't push completely to us. They might have heard that fight going on. They didn't engage fast enough. What this other team really should have done is been like in our face right now. Is what they should have done. But they pushed up some, which is better than sitting far back. But they really should have pushed us harder here. It would have made it much more difficult. Our Bloodhound swapped out. Instead of healing up his armor, went for the armor swap. That was a good thing.
Other team's going to be pushing us.
So, I'm anticipating this other team pushing because it's a smart move. They should have been pushing us right here. Our guys are able to get meted up. So, knowing that this other team is likely going to know the fight took place behind the house if they see the bodies or listen to sound or anything, I moved myself into just a little bit different of a position, and I'm trying to hide now or play very subtle so that they don't notice me. My plan is what I want is for them to engage my two teammates, and after they do that, I can flank them, or just like how the Gibraltar was like super concentrated on our teammates, I can then engage them and have the advantage and be able to likely knock one or get one very low right off the rip.
I can maybe get them to overextend if they don't know I'm here, right? And I can maybe get them when they're
and then we'll have them in a pinch with two guys on one side and me on the other.
shooting one of my teammates.
But what happened is this Wraith started throwing nades, and it sounded like she threw nades at the house. And then I guess it was probably her just thinking to herself, okay, if I happen around here, maybe there's a guy behind her. And I see that she's about to chuck a nade at me, right? So she did. She naded like the doorway in the house. Then she naded where I'm at. They start nading this. I don't know if they knew I was here or what. But as soon as I see that, I'm like, okay, I need to back up. I don't want to get naded. Paying attention to where I hear the sounds from this other team. Okay, so one thing here, they just naded this. They didn't get any hits where I was, and the Wraiths seen me back off. This is one of those things where very likely they're like, hey, that's clear now, right? That's clear. We just naded that, thermited that, nobody's in there. So I then move back into that area. And by moving back into that area, they're not as worried about this spot. They're leaving themselves a little bit more open to here. And I'm able to like get up and take a little bit of damage on this Mirage. And then when he's pushing away, this is the big thing with like playing Pathfinder right here. This is why I love playing him so much. I see that this guy is super low, right? We did however much damage to his shields, and then I've got an 84 on him. Immediately, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I don't see his other teammates. His other teammates are engaged with my team. Even if they're up here, I have an opportunity right now before this Mirage can get healed back up. I have an opportunity. I should push and then get the knock, right? Take the fight to them while I have an opportunity to get one down and tip the fight in my favor. Make it a 2v3. So I go in, swap to the Peacekeeper, go for the grapple. I'm thinking to myself, main goal, get this Mirage. Okay, we got the Mirage. Land on him. Now use the pod to my advantage as cover. This other guy was fighting with my team. A little bit distracted. Thinks his Mirage is fine, just mitting up back here. I fling myself up into the fight, get the first knock. He's already damaged a little bit. Able to get the knock on him, right? And then I'm like, okay, where's this last guy here? Gunshots behind us. Push up into this Wraith.
Go!
And I'm able to take
Get
the
out
Wraith
of my
out.
face! They gone, dude.
And then our teammates are celebrating all that.
You are the Apex champions.
Wee! Yo. Was it Tesseract? Oh, Tesseract, I'm not holding you to that one, baby.
And yo,
I'm not
bless
holding you to that one.
Tesseract's heart. Tesseract before this game was like, hey, Viss. Hey, Viss. For every kill, I'm gifting a sub, and if you win, we're doing double. And Tesseract came through, and he gifted 50 or 40 subs after this, man. All right, so, yo, 20 kill game.
Another 4,000 damage game, baby.
223
Let's go.
damage.
Oh,
Really solid game. And, yo, now that we've kind of done the breakdown and everything, let's do, like, 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes here, where we do, like, a little Q&A about the game chat. About, like, any question you have or pertaining to something. And then maybe I can add a little bit more in here right at the end to try to help some people out with, like, any question that you got, you know? So, what do you guys got here? Related to the game. Can you walk through your movement tactics during... Hold up. Taking this one. Can you walk through your movement tactics during close combat in open field, no cover, trying to figure out effective movement to make them miss more? Lots of Zatziki with the question. All right, dude. Open field, open cover, serpentine. That's what they teach in the military, right? But you're wanting to make yourself a very hard target. Unpredictable. You want to be moving right, left, and not in like a predictable pattern. It's not like move right 1 second for 2 seconds and then move left. It's like right 1 second, left 2 seconds, slide back to the right, slide back to the left. Different timings. It can even be, you can even throw like a little bit of a juke in there. It could be like, I'm heading this angle, 2 seconds, right to the right, back a second to the left, back 2 seconds to the right, and then instead of going left again, I kind of like throw like a little shake in there with the mouse, and I keep going right. The main goal, though, as well, is either one, when you're in an open field or open area, is either your closing distance to fight, to like get in engagement range, right? To take on the fight. And if there's 3 guys shooting you at once and you're the only dude in an open field and you're pushing to engage, it's probably not a good idea unless they're all low or something, right? So it's either you're doing that, you're trying to escape, or you're trying to get to cover, right? Those are like usually the things you're going to be doing in that situation. So when you're serpentining, you should be serpentining either to cover, if that's what your goal is, to get to cover, to med back up. You're serpentining to like escape, get away, run up over a hillside into some buildings, or you're serpentining to close distance on the enemy to get yourself in an effective range to engage, right? Hope that helps. Let's see. What's another question we got here? You just started playing Pathfinder. What's the secret of pro grappling? So, the big thing with playing Pathfinder, and a reason that I feel like Pathfinder is really good for solos, like I had mentioned, is because of his mobility. To get really good with his grapple, I'd recommend you guys do like a little YouTube search for Grapple Guide Pathfinder, right? And then go see how you can learn how to grapple effectively from that. And then what it comes in after that is practice. Practice as much as you can with the grapple. You know, you can just go into a game, go land solo, or eventually I think they're doing another training area where you're going to be able to choose what legend you're wanting to play. And then just go in with Pathfinder and practice a ton. It's all practice. Practice makes perfect. It's about getting the momentum with the grapple down and timings. And once you get that down, become way more effective with him. That's a huge thing when playing Pathfinder. It's all about using his grapple. Dancing Dude asks, how do you decide where to land? Dancing Dude, I don't have a ton of strategy that goes into where I land. It's just a place that I really enjoy playing on the map where I land. But there can be more that goes into it. If you're not wanting to fight people, getting out further away from the drop can be a good idea. If you're wanting to fight people, jumping into hot zones, dropping into areas where you often see people fighting at the start of the game, like Train Yard, like the Sorting Factory in the center. One thing that I really like about Train Yard is that if you take control of the top hanging carts, people really can't challenge you up there, and so you can have a couple people in the top that are helping support people below, or just taking out other teams below by playing up top. It's one of the reasons I land there, but it depends on your strategy and what you want to do with your landing. When is it right to try to grapple the opponent? It doesn't happen often, but grappling like an enemy, if they're say you're like in the middle of a reload and they're about to make it around a corner or something, and you don't want them to escape, you could try to grapple them then. It's also good for like if you're early game boxing, right, and they're trying to run away, grappling them as they're trying to run away, or even grappling them to engage, because you almost get slightly stunned when you grapple. And when we say grapple the opponent, we like literally hit them with the grapple where it pulls them into you. I want to be trying to do that all that often, to be honest. It's very few situations where you really want to be trying to do that. What do you think of a choke on the Peacekeeper? What have you tried to pick it up during this game? I think a choke can be fine. The thing you have to realize with the choke is while you're holding down ADS, it's going to be charging up. Everybody can hear you doing that, and they know that you've charged up a Peacekeeper, so you're kind of giving away that element of surprise, but you get the added distance. Obviously, that isn't a problem if you don't charge it up with ADS, but if you're someone that likes going in ADS a lot, like that might be something to consider where you don't take the choke. On this new map with more range, I feel like the choke is really good because it offers you your Peacekeeper to be a little bit more dynamic, to make it so that you can engage a little bit longer ranges, say if you're running out of ammo or low on ammo with your other weapon. Dr. Shepard, I don't know if that's true or not. I've always heard that the gold, he says that he heard that the gold weapons have gold versions of attachments which are better than purple. I think that it has gold versions of attachments that are already gold. I don't know if they're like with the shotgun, if the gold shotgun bolt is better than the purple. I think that they're actually the same, if I'm not wrong, but I could be wrong. But either way, they're both going to be very good, and they'll be very, very likely very similar. The gold barrel stabilizer has an advantage where it has less muzzle flash, right? But I don't know if there's another weapon attachment really outside of that. How do you take on 3v1 fights? You kind of were able to see in the video, but it's by really trying to either use the environment to your advantage, getting people low to a point where you can take them out, then engage without getting yourself low. Using cover effectively. Grenades can help. Using your teammates, well, with a 3v1 you're not going to be able to do that, but taking advantage of the environment, grenades, armor swaps, high burst damage weapons so that you're able to get knocks. And it's really about trying to focus one person down at a time. You shouldn't really be swapping between. As soon as you get in an engagement 3v1 and you're firing on one guy, and then he gets into cover, and then you're firing on another guy, you break his armor, he gets into cover and heals up, you just need to get out of that fight because they're going to be healed back up and you're not going to be able to finish them. All right, we'll take one more question here. Okay, this is an interesting one. Demented, and this will be the final one. What would you have done if you were the Wraith that you shot outside the building? So, he's talking about when I was at the doorway, what could have the Wraith done better? One, realize that just because the dude's playing the doorway doesn't mean that he's not going to open it and fire it at you. So it's anticipating the fact that he might shoot you, and being ready for that is a big thing. Once I closed the door and he saw I was meting up, if he had a thermite grenade, he should have threw a thermite. Or he could have even threw an arc star on the doorway, because that at the very least is going to delay. If I try to push out on him, he's not going to be able to do that. Also, it's going to break the door. But once I had him low and he sees that I'm meting, he really should have just disengaged from the whole situation. By him meting up right outside the door, it gave me the advantage. I could hear him meting. I knew he was low, and it made it easy for me just to push out and kill him. If he just dips out of there right after taking that damage and he hears me meting on the door, he can jump back inside a building. He could go behind his own door and heal back up to full, right, and reset the fight. But by sticking around and not putting any extra pressure on me, he was really screwed. Also, kicking the door is not a smart play in that situation, especially if I have a shotgun and an R99, because the delay that you have from kicking that door down, by the time he kicks the door down with like kick, right, has to kick again, door breaks, he's in a animation right at that time. I've already got my health back up, and I'm just going to laser that dude right in the face because it's the easiest shot of all time. So kicking a door when you know that the other guy's getting meted back up, the only time to kick the door is if like the guy's 1 HP, right? If he's like very, very low, you can kick the door in if you're already there. If you like already have enough time before he's going to be able to get off like a battery. If he's able to get a battery off before you kick the door in, and he has a Peacekeeper or an R99, you're going to be in a bad situation. You're likely going to lose that fight, even if he was at 1 HP. Even if he was at 1 HP, gets the battery off because he's now at 101 HP, and then he just lasers you with that 99, like he's going to tip the fight in his scale, in his favor, very likely, most of the time. All right. That'll be the last question, bro. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And yo, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. It would really help the video out. If you enjoyed that, there'll be more videos like this coming. Hit the subscribe button, and yo, leave a comment down below. Maybe you have some questions on YouTube. I can go back through there and answer those as well. All right, chat.